is a potential agent.
Okay. Okay.
So anybody that isn't in the belief, and you might see people that just be like, just throw a little fist at you, like with a nod, with a look in their eye or something. Let that roll. You ain't gotta be, hey, shalom. Now if they say shalom, you can correspond whatever. You know, brothers was saying how was a cop that they walked past like a security guard or a cop or something. He was like, hey, I think I know you. He was like, oh yeah? What? He goes, shalom. God bless him and show. He was like, hey, all right, shalom. And that was enough. He didn't sit there and want to, oh yeah, oh, that's enough. You know that much, you know enough. You know where to get it then also.
Kind.
You know? Yeah, more on that chapter, huh?
Verse 10.
We just gonna read the whole, finish the whole chapter. I love this chapter.
Yeah.
Continuing in verse 10. When the righteous,
Because the way it's being spoken, it's like it's throwing you clues as to who it's pertaining to.
Yeah.
As you keep reading it, you know, because it's just going down a list of different men that actually walked in that wisdom, because the wisdom guided those men. Okay, showing you that wisdom is immortal. It's always been here. It's always, you know, delivered us. It always preserved us. Okay. Go ahead.
verse 10. When the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him.
Hold on. Read that from the top again.
When the righteous fled from his brother's wrath.
Let me stop that. Who is that talking about? There you go. See? It just gives you that clue.
What did the clue say?
Read it again.
When the righteous fled from his brother's wrath.
Yeah.
From his brother's wrath. That's a given. The days of mourning my father are over, or at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Yep.
You know.
And it's crazy because he's actually just going down the history.
And
Pretty
the wisdom was with Jacob.
Yep.
Just much like how Hebrews 11 chapter goes into the faith of these men. This chapter is going into the wisdom of those men.
That's right.
Right.
Faith and wisdom, and how it goes hand in hand. Because you believe, therefore you following his instructions.
That's right, bro.
The wisdom the faith that you were given leads you to act on that faith with wisdom.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Jacob, he had the wisdom on how important the
birthright?
was.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why he asked for that.
Exactly.
Let me get that birthright for you.
Let me get that up off of you.
Get that, man. You hungry?
What did King Solomon ask for?
Yep.
Wisdom.
I desired her before scepters and thrones.
I think he's gonna run for something.
God. When the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him in right. So let me read that again. She guided him in right paths. Showed him the kingdom of Yahweh.
Hey, what happened? Basically, he listened to his mother, which was spiritual, Rachel.
Yep.
And she basically gave him the instruction, go to your brother, it's like you go to my brother, Laban.
Oh, yeah.
And he went over there, and he was getting showed all type of diplomacy, love. He works, for his uncle.
Laban the Assyrian.
Yeah.
You know how they try to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, he gained substance out of that. He gained substance, and he got those wives, and that's what brought forth the patriarchs.
He left with the cattle and
cattle,
shit.
the substance.
Yeah.
And it's 12 patriarchs, man. You know, because he listened to what his mother said, and he fled because Esau was gonna try to kill him.
Yeah.
You know, he gonna try to take him out the game.
But that's using wisdom, because niggas these days will go toe to toe with a nigga and get killed in the street instead of getting away from the situation.
Hey, and here's the wisdom of the street version of what you're talking about, right? Instead of doing that, some niggas know they can't stop a gang or whatever from retaliating. They'll run them up out the city, right? I mean, they'll go move to if they live in LA, they'll go to Victorville or Palmdale or somewhere, you know, or you know, here it's a small city like that. They'll move across town or something, right? But not only that, he left and waited him out to calm down.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't cowardice to use wisdom, man.
Yep.
That's why when Jacob came back, you know, when the spirit, you know, led him to start coming back to the land,
Counter.
he encountered Esau and he used wisdom in that situation.
Yep. Send the kids up.
He divided them up and sent, you know, he had his wives, and they had their children and their cattle, but he also had some cattle as a gift to give to Esau, because he thought like, man, what if he's still angry?
What if he still
So
salty?
maybe I can appease him by showing up with gifts. And I don't know if he's gonna try to show up with an army of men and take me out. I don't know. So when he did that, and it worked out. And Esau came and kissed him on his neck, and you know, gave him that little, you know, brotherly love or whatever, hug or whatever. You know, that's what. Hey, but that was because Jacob used wisdom.
Hey, he probably like, I better give him some of this cattle. I'm over here shining this shit.
Hey.
I left and came back more powerful than before. He really gonna be pissed. Let me give him some of this shit, man. Let me break bread with him. You know?
It's like they say the death toll of that earthquake has reached 1,297.
Ooh, it ain't over.
That ain't over.
Day 2, day 3.
Them numbers gonna keep going up like the debt clock.
Well, trying to wipe that whole island out.
Yeah.
We need to knowing numbers.
Big numbers, bro.
Continuing in verse 10, she guided him in the right paths, showed him the kingdom of Yahweh, gave him knowledge of holy things, made him rich in his travails, and multiplied the fruit of his labors.
He received visions when he was gone of how the Lord is gonna make that covenant with his seed.
He wrestled for that
He
blessing.
wrestled for that blessing with the angel. You know? Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 11, in the covetousness of such as oppressed him, she stood by him and made him rich. She defended him from his enemies and kept him safe from those that lay in wait. And in a sore conflict, she gave him the victory, that he might know that godliness is stronger than all. When the righteous was sold, she forsook him not, but delivered him from sin. She went down with him into the pit.
Now you know who this is talking about? Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
Delivered him down to the pit, down to Egypt. You know? And you know wisdom was dealing with him.
Yeah.
Because he kept at it. He kept getting asked. That's how he got in the ranking position. Because he kept getting asked to decipher dreams and whatnot.
Use wisdom.
Pharaoh's people couldn't do it.
Yep.
You know, and
He had his wise men.
He had his
They
wise
couldn't figure nothing out.
It was like it was a man in prison. You know, and he was breaking down everybody's dreams.
God. And where the righteous was sold, she forsook him not, but delivered him from sin. She went down with him into the pit, and left him not in bonds, till she brought him the scepter